brother, I love doing these videos, but they're hard on me. You know, we get the whole serious production staff involved. All right, I get my whole bunch of guys, I get them all out there. We're making a very big video. You know, I actually had an intern that was ground up like chuck roast for this very video. You believe that? So I hope you enjoy Better Commander Rates, Foundation's special guest. Now these cards appear in play boosters and collector boosters, that's all I know. They're little rare reprints that can spice the heck out of your pack openings if you're so inclined. True story, man, I haven't opened a pack since last Christmas. I buy singles for my collection, brother. That's the hyena way. But there are some singles of note here, and this little reprint may depress the price of other versions. Who knows? You know, it's not very likely because these are going to be out there in small numbers, but you gotta hit the bell for more of these types of videos. And if you want to support the channel directly, we have memberships, you know. Thanks to those dudes very much. We have the Patreon full of girthy chads down there. And without further pomp and circumstance, let's get it on. Let's start out with a real piece of crap here, Condemn. So this is 1 white mana for an instant. Put target attacking creature on the bottom of its owner's library. Its controller gains life equal to its toughness. And the flavor text is, cyclical are the passing of days. The Fiend would return again, and like the sun rising, so would a champion to slay it. This card is just a few cents. Imagine opening this, you know, as your big rare special guest card. Your sadness knows no bounds, you know, but it's a cool card that reads a lot better than it is. Many times the threat isn't necessarily attacking, but if it is, this can really put a damper on that. I rate this based on the mechanic and the art as a loud wet, but somewhat satisfying fart. And moving on here, we got a banger, Grim Tutor. 1 black for a sorcery. Search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, then shuffle. You lose 3 life. This guy's freely trading away his breaths for some reason. I don't know. The Grim Toots is back, man. This made big waves back in 2020 due to the fact that it was a very rare reprint. But I contend that this is a middling card. Probably not worth the $20 it currently goes for. I'd say it's a $5 card, man. There's your hot take right there. The art on this, though, is pretty nice. I like it. I like any art with an elk skull in it because elks are creepy. And this ghostly, fleshly abomination wants to tutor up your combo piece in the Kaldheim style. I dig it, man. I rate this a steaky tender piece of elk. Now this card is for real dudes out there. Ember Cleave. 4 red. Legendary artifact. Equipment has flash. Costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. When this guy enters, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample, has equipped for 3. Oh my gosh, dude, this is down to like $6 due to a list reprint. This card is amazing in your Voltron aggro decks with a real nasty pair of keyword abilities. It auto-equips, which is nice. I use this in a few decks. The art is rad in the Eldraine Showcase style, but I wish they showed more of the sword. It's just some nice hands, dude. I rate this a full thwack, brother. That's what it does to your foes. Full thwack. And next we have the Sphinx's Tutelage. So this is 2 and a blue enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. 2 non-land cards that share a color were milled this way. Repeat this process. As 5 and a blue, draw a card, then discard a card, man. Sailors swear by the Sphinx's stars, which always seem to point the way home. What the heck are they talking about, man? The Sphinx's stars point me to the strip club, dude. Maybe that is my home. I think this in the Thero style is pretty nice, man, but I don't use this card. Despite having like 3 milled decks, I end up comparing it to Psychic Corrosion, which hits all my opponents. This earns a rating of $1, and coincidentally it costs $1. Now we come to a very Australian card, the Goblin Bushwhacker. So this is 1 red mana for a creature Goblin Warrior to 1/1, has kicker for red. When this guy enters, if it was kicked, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. Follow me. I know these hills like the back of me stabbing knife. This is cool for Goblin decks. Original Zendikar card in the Zendikar style. Now I was talking to somebody about the Vietnam War, right? We're gonna do a little digression on Vietnam here for a minute and how that conflict informed our childhoods, being sons and daughters of that conflict. You know, lots of bushwhacking in that war, man. And I rate this a solid bush, but not George Bush. All right, cool card for Goblin decks. Now we're going to go from a Bushwhacker to a damn Bloomtender. 1 and a green, creature elf druid, it's a 1/1. Has tap. For each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color. Within skyscraping gardens, New Capenna's fashionable druids maintain the last ties to the war-ravaged land their ancestors left behind. In the Capenna style, Bloomtender is a great mana dork, alright? It's got a decently high ceiling, potentially tapping for 5 mana. I think this is a little overrated, as it's about $15. It's too much, man. But if you have a 5-color friendly deck, this can be huge. I want to know what's in the bloom she's tending. You know, probably some type of homunculus. Maybe a baby's in there, dude. Which is my rating for this card. It rates 1 homunculus. Now contrast Bloomtender with Paradise Druid, 1 and a green, creature elf druid. It's a 2/1. Oh, pretty tough out there. This has hexproof as long as it's untapped. Has tap, add 1 mana of any color. Hello again, my metamorphic friends. What stories have you brought to tell me today? This is in the Ravnica Showcase frame, which has some really exciting buildings scattered about. Very dynamic. I love this card. I love color fixing mana dorks. Yeah, it only taps for 1 mana. But if you're building that 5-color mana base, you need cards like this, man. She is my butterfly, my elven snack, dude. I rate this a tasty crunch. Oh, and now we're getting into it, dude. A Chroma's Memorial, 7 generic mana, legendary artifact. Creatures you control have flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, and protection from black and red. Jeebus, man. This card in an aggro deck is just a damn win condition. I do have a buddy who uses this in a Broodclad deck to beef up his massive creature tokens. Just picture floating, trampling Urza constructs drifting over to slap you square in the joist, brother. It's miserable. Now this art looks cheesy as hell, dude. I hate it. The frame is lame. Composition bothers me for some reason. The old art is just fantastic. This is still a rad card though. Solid smack in the coconuts. Fiend Artisan, are you kidding me out there? It's a hybrid black-green for a creature nightmare. It's just a 1/1. This guy gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. Alright, there you go. X black and a green, tap it. Or a hybrid black-green, sorry, tap it. Sacrifice another creature, and then you can search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. I love this card, man. I've always loved this card. It's a sacrifice outlet for your little tokens, right? Get your creature-based combo directly onto the battlefield. Do you think this guy's making little dolls for Toys for Tots, dude? You're right. And the little dolls are filled with hatred. But there's no hatred for this art, man. The art slaps. Great card. Love it. More reprints on this, please and thank you. I should grab one of these, man. I rate it a little He-Man doll filled with antipathy. Temporal Manipulation, 3 blue sorcery, take an extra turn after this one. Proper Chronomancy research can't be rushed. Luckily I've got all the time in the world. I hate when people tweak manip, dude, and then they tweak it in time. The cool thing about this card is that it doesn't exile itself from your graveyard, so you can do a nice little recursion with this. Get more turns. Right now the cheapest white border version from the mystery boosters can be had for like $6. Or I'm sorry, $8. Beyond that one, it's a $20 card. I dig the art, the Kamigawa frame, it's pretty fantastic. I rate this 10 celestial beings, dude, and they're all cavorting in my jeans, for gosh sakes. So that, my friends, is the special guest. Quick little video for you on a Sunday morning, brother. I hope you learned something today. You can see these cards that are going to be in these play boosters for foundations. I know I learned something today, dude. I learned about love. The love of my bros. It's a warm love. Slightly viscous. Maybe sometimes sticky, but I welcome it all the same. Nikki G, Better Commander, signing off.